anger. You are not depressed, but you feel depressed. You are not sad, but you feel sad. You are not anxiety, but you might feel anxiety. You just gotta. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. How have y'all been? How's your month going so far? I know it's the same. If you're new and don't know who I am Jaden Maylene, and here we talk a lot about faith and healing and some lifestyle, some fitness. You know, we're gonna get some content on that soon, but right now we're talking about healing, and I want to introduce y'all to one of my new series called the Healing Diaries, where I'm basically documenting my healing journey with y'all. And it's not actually my healing journey, it's ours as a whole, all right? Because one thing about it, we're not doing this alone, and I have to remind myself that each day, that I'm not doing this alone. I'm not healing alone. I'm not going through what has happened to me or what I'm feeling alone. There's other people who went through the same thing I went through, or even worse, you know? It's our healing journey, and I want to create a safe environment for us, okay? But for today's topic, I'm very excited for it, and I want to ease into it because I just want us to remember that our healing journey runs at our own pace. And don't let society, don't even let myself or others tell you that it shouldn't take you that long to heal, or oh, put that healing stuff aside and get to the bag. Because honestly, honey, past stuff, trauma, certain childhood traumas and experiences can have a big effect on you, and you don't even realize it. You don't even know that it does. And you're walking around feeling depressed, feeling sad, mad, anger, jealousy, envy at people in this world, and it's because of what happened to you in the past and you haven't healed from it. You're walking around broken and unwounded, and you're bleeding on other people. And life's gonna be hard if you're doing that. I witnessed people who are way older than me, who are in their old ages of life, and they're walking around still unhurt, still unfazed, walking around passing on generational curses and passing them on to their generations to come. Just imagine if they took the time to actually break that curse. They took the time to, I don't want this to happen to my daughter, so let me prevent this, you know? Let me speak up about it. And so I just pray that as a community, we could do that. We could break generational curses within our own family. It doesn't have to be with the world, but we could just start off with our family. The next generation to come, your relatives, just generations, your friends, yourself, within your own personal family. The family that you create, you can change, all right? And then just imagine if we start changing 1% at a time, how this world can change as a whole, okay? But that was my little rant, all right? Because this topic, I want to talk about how you need to be willing to heal if you want to heal, all right? Because sometimes we might want to heal. We know we're hurt. We know we feel these feelings that are not positive, right? We know we feel these feelings, but we have no willingness to actually heal ourselves. We just accept it. We just take it in and just I don't know what the word for it is, but make it seem like it's okay. I have a right to feel this way because this happened to me. And sometimes you don't always have a right to feel certain ways, you know? Because yes, it might have happened to you. That doesn't mean you be mean to the next person. That doesn't mean you hurt the next person, you know? Or do this and do that. So I really want to talk about how in order for you to heal, you need to actually let yourself feel what you need to heal. And that's one thing that me and when I realized I needed to heal, emotion came upon me when I realized I needed to heal. When I realized that I wasn't okay, you know? And I'm grateful that I did not let those negative thoughts win. I realized that I am not okay right now, but I will be okay. And that might be you right now. You might feel okay, but you're acting like you're okay. So if someone was to ask you, how are you? Your response is gonna be, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good. You know, that normal response, but I'm for real. As a sister, I'm asking you, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you truly okay? You don't have to answer me, but you just write it down and answer yourself. And you have to, it's crazy because you have to know how you're feeling. Because other people, they could sense when the energy's off, but you are the true one that knows how you're feeling. And God can't fix what you don't what you don't know what you want to heal. He can't fix, if you know you're dealing with like a broken heart, you know, a grief over a lost one, and you don't admit it, he can't fix it. That goes with everything in life. And sometimes we try to fix it, think that we got to fix it all on our own, but really, we really don't have to. Because certain things are out of our control. And as you realize through this healing journey, certain things are out of your control, it's just gonna give you like, it's gonna humble you, and it's gonna give you like a dependence on God and on Jesus with your walk with them. Because like I really did have to tell myself, like recently I lost my grandpa, and it was a very hard time for me. And I isolated myself from everybody. I didn't talk to no one. I was really depressed. I really felt depressed, and I was sad. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to get out of bed, shower sometimes. I didn't want to take a shower. But then when people ask me, are you okay? I was like, bro, my grandpa just died. Do you think I'm really gonna be okay right now? I was like, you know, sometimes people be asking like questions like that. But I told him straight up, I'm like, I am not okay, but I know I will be okay. So you don't need to worry. Like, I know I will be okay. I know what I'm feeling right now is temporarily, and I need to let myself feel those emotions first. And it's just crazy because I became aware of that at the time. Because at first, I never really let myself feel emotions. I would push my emotions to the side. I would bottle it up. I would not tell no one about it, that I feel some type of way about the issue. And it will hurt me in the long run. Like, I'm still holding on to a grudge from somebody for like 7 months, and like they're okay with it. Like, they're living life, and me, I'm still thinking about it. You know, that's not healthy. And I was doing that a lot in high school, mind you. The time when I lost my grandpa, it was very like a transitional for me of my healing process, because then I realized that I need to feel my emotions when I feel them instead of bottling them up. And that's sometimes what we tend to do when we're hurt or we're confused about something, or we face some type of big trauma in our life, emotionally and physically. We tend to bottle certain things up. Like, even if it might be hard for you to talk to someone about it, it was hard for me to talk to someone about it, but time was right. But what's it called? The pressuring up and everything, I exploded, you know? And we could avoid that if we just feel the feelings now. If you feel sad, be sad for that day. Be sad for that hour. Lay in bed and cry if you need to. You know, you don't need an audience to feel that type of way. You don't need to post it on social media that you feel sad, or you're crying, or you're depressed, or whatever feelings you might feel. You don't need to post it. But you could be your own audience. God is your audience too. He's watching over you. He's going to protect you. If you're feeling very weak and you just have to cry, guess what? He's going to be there with you when you're crying, when you're at your weakest point. You know why he's going to be there with you? Because he's waiting for you to call into him so he can help heal you. Because that's when we're at our weakest points, we realize we're aware of more things now. We're aware of our feelings. We're aware of the situation and how we felt, or our experience of it. And now it's like that's like our time that we process things. It's either we're gonna stay here and let us continue to be weak and let people walk over us the rest of our life, or either I know I'm feeling these feelings right now, but I know past this that I can move on to do in your healing process. Like, you need to be aware of your feelings. Like, journaling helped me a lot, becoming aware of how I was feeling, because I was bottling so much stuff up. And if you're like me, and it was like, I moved around state to state my whole life, so I never really had people, like I met a lot of people, right? But I never really had people where I could really trust and really stick along with for a while to actually tell them certain things, you know, if that makes sense. And so, like, once I became friends with somebody, best friends with somebody, we ended up moving the next year, like within that year, you know? And for me to like express my feelings to other people. So you might have like a long-term best friend, so that's good for you to be able to express yourself. Tell you how you feel. And other times we're telling a lot of people how we feel about certain things, but how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the situation? Once you start acknowledging how you feel, you're gonna be aware of certain things around you, of how you act now. You're gonna be aware of your actions. And that's very important in this healing stage, because honestly, the first step, I feel like, before anything, is to be aware and be willing to heal. Before jumping into forgiving people, before jumping into like doing all this self-discovery and all this other things, you have to be aware of your feelings, be aware of your emotions. That's the stuff that you can control. The things the people that hurt you, the things that happened to you, the loss, the trauma that happened, those most of the time was out of your control. And you've been out of your control affect you your whole life. And you haven't even taken account to the things that are actually in your control. And you haven't even acknowledged them, recognized them, and been aware of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know if y'all following along with me, okay? Aware of it. So I recommend journaling, like write things down, write how you feel. It doesn't have to be perfect or pretty, like legit get a journal and write it down. And there's so many journals out there. Like I have so many, like right now I have 3 right now. You'll do it in your room, and I feel like in the room that's where you're kind of a little bit more vulnerable, because now it's like it's closed doors, it's just you. So go in your room and write in your journal, sit with it, feel those emotions. Like, I'm not saying turn the loud music on and synth, but I'm saying like just process certain things that happened to you, things that's been replaying in your mind. Write down all the thoughts that's happening in your head, whether it's negative or positive. Write it down. Just let it out. And the perfect thing to do is let it out on paper. You know, you could burn it up if you need to. Give yourself time to process what happened. Process what you need to heal from. Process your feelings for one. Okay? Like really, express your feelings. Like feel your feelings. Like feel them in the moment. Like feel them that. Like I'm telling you, feel them in the moment. Feel what you feel when you need to feel it. Because I'm telling you, when you try to push it to the side, like, oh, I don't need to worry about this right now. That happened so long ago. Let me get to the bag. Like in the line, you're gonna be realizing like, why have I been so heartless about certain things? Why I haven't like felt loved or felt this towards somebody, or when somebody says it to me, you know? And that's like, I'm telling y'all, I was in the same boat as y'all. I didn't give myself time to feel what I needed to heal. And it was years that I wasn't feeling what needed to be healed until just recently. It's one thing that has helped me with my healing process and made it like 10,000 times more better is doing it with God, doing it with Jesus, and doing it with the Holy Spirit. Like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to have enough strength to even get on camera and talk about this if it wasn't for God, for filling my cup up, you know, and walking with Jesus through this journey. Like, that's one thing you want to do is like when you're walking through your journey of healing, you're not running, you're not sprinting, you're walking, you're pacing yourself. And the perfect man to walk with is Jesus, because for one, he walked this earth and he's in heaven with God now, you know? And he died for us. He done many things, many miracles, and healed many people. So if he could heal people from like actual diseases, he could heal me from my childhood traumas, you know? But there's a scriptures that I read and I love it. But in Chronicles, chapter 30, verse 19 through 20. May the Lord who is good pardon those who decide to follow the Lord, the God of their ancestors, even though they are not properly cleansed for the ceremony. And the Lord listened, I want to say his name, Zekiah's prayer, and healed the people. So your feelings, express how you feel. When you just cry out, when you know what you need, when you figure out what you need to heal, God's gonna heal it. He just needs you to ask and he will give it to you. And sometimes we don't be asking for certain things, and we're wondering why we're not giving it. We're wondering why we're not given joy or given happiness. But other people seem to be happy and joyful. Because we didn't express how we felt. Because when we just keep it in and don't even like tell God, or they just think that, oh, they got it themselves. They know what they're doing. They don't need my help. In reality, it's just, I need to help me out, please. Because I can't do it alone. Try to get yourself in a safe environment for you to heal, because sometimes the environment might be the environment that's very toxic and harmful to you, you know? So if you can, get yourself out of that environment and get yourself in a safe space. If you're old enough, if you need to, move states, not just cities or down the street, move states. Get yourself out of the environment, and I feel I'm letting you know that when you do, you're able to express yourself more freely. And sometimes some people might allow themselves to stay in that environment. Other people, it's out of your control to stay that in your environment. but just have hope that you will get out of it soon, because you can get yourself out of any situation. You are not your circumstances. You are not what happened to you. You are meant for something more, but you have to do your part, if that makes sense. You have to know what you need to fix. You have to know what you need help with. You have to know how you feel. And you have to be willing to do it. Because if you're not willing to do it and they just pass on that generational curse, and some people will make that change and they're going to break that generational curse in their family. But Lord, you know the hopes of the helpless. Surely we hear their cries and comfort them. You might be helpless. You might feel helpless. You might feel like there's no hope in this world. Hope that things will get good. Hope that you will heal. Hope that things will change. Hope that you can get out your environment, get out the situation, get out whatever is holding you back. You just don't need a little bit of hope. And then cry. Express those feelings. When it says you will hear their cries, when you cry out, he knows, he hears it. That's why it's important to express your feelings. So next time when you feel a certain way and something comes up, don't try to hold it in. If you need to, leave the room. Go into a room where you feel safe, where you feel like you can express your feelings. Then do it. And just when you're crying, don't think of the worst, but think of the best. When you express yourself, that's like a little stepping stone. That's a little walk. Are you going forward in your healing journey? I'm telling you. And I just want to let you know that the enemy is not going to win this battle. It's already said in the scriptures that the battle is already won. He's fighting battles that we cannot even see. So that's all I have in our first healing diaries. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. And let me know, let's talk about certain things that has helped you during yours. And we could really exchange. I want to create an open environment where we could be free. We could be our real self, where we could talk about things that can't be talked about at home. But make sure you like this video, help a sister out. We're trying to get on our YouTube grind. And then also to subscribe. Subscribe for more of the healing diaries that I have planned for what's about to come next. I want to leave it off like this. You can't heal what you don't allow yourself to feel. So feel those emotions, sis. Feel those feelings. Be aware of your feelings. Realize that, oh, I feel kind of angry right now. You are not anger, but you feel anger. You are not depressed, but you feel depressed. You are not sad, but you feel sad. You are not anxiety, but you might feel anxiety. You are not what you feel, but you have to feel those things, okay? And don't settle in it. Don't linger in it, because it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to settle in your situation and to settle into it, all right? But I love y'all so much. I'll see you guys next week, okay? Stay tuned. And yeah, bye.